Hello, and welcome to the DART Flight Crew Module. The Flight Crew Module is designed for companies who service the airline industry. If the limousine service provider is servicing one of the major airlines and transporting their flight crew member, this module is indispensable. Let's get started. We'll take a quick tour of the software and how it can best help your company provide excellent service for your flight crew members. With the Flight Crew module, your company can upload complex airline manifest transportation requests into your system within seconds. Normally a task that takes an agent days, perhaps even weeks to accomplish. Let's take a quick look at one of the flight manifest lists from one of the airlines. As you can see, it looks quite complicated. It lists the date, the flight number, where it's coming from, the time that it arrives, and over here on the second column is the departure. It doesn't list the date, but we have to assume it's the following day. Flight 456, the flight departure time is 14:55, but we have to do subtraction. Once these things are loaded into the system, you have to figure out your travel time. With the DART system, all those calculations are done for you automatically, and a manifest which holds hundreds of flights can be imported within seconds into your system. Here's another example of another flight crew manifest list, different format. All the airlines have completely different formats from each other. Therefore, you have to get used to each manifest, what it means, and how to import this into your system. With DART, all that has been taken away, has been automated, and it will load all these complex schedules within seconds into the system. You will notice on the Flight Crew module homepage, there is 4 action buttons: View Flights, Make a Reservation, Pending Request, and Completed Flights. Let's start with View Flights. Here's the View Flight screen. It has our date range. You can select for a day, 2 days, or a couple of days at a time. Looking at the day, we see that the imports of the manifest have been completed, and now they're in a much easier readable format. Starts with the date, the scheduled time, and this is the original scheduled time. The actual time, this line in a lighter green color, is tied into Flight Tracker. It will track all the flights that are inbound, such as the ones in the light blue background. It will give the actual time of arrival, the city, the airline code, which for this one NK happens to be Spirit Airlines, the flight number 868, pilots 2, flight attendants 0, and this is an arriving flight. A or D stands for arrival or departure. The pickup location is DFW International Airport, the drop-off location being the Intercontinental Hotel, and then we have the vehicle, the driver, and the status. All 3 of these are manipulated by the actual driver. Your dispatcher can assign a vehicle and a driver to each trip simply by clicking on drop-down box. Will select the driver from the list of vehicles that you have, and you can also do the same thing by selecting a driver down from the list. Once the driver has been selected, the driver knows to use his mobile application, which is now available on both iPhone and Android. The driver has 4 action buttons on his mobile application. One is en route, the other one is arrived, the other one is picked up, and the last one is dropped off. All 4 will display in this section right here as soon as the driver chooses the button of which distance he's in. Scheduled, this is a scheduled original trip. The type again is scheduled. Client Spirit, and there's a remarks section. The remarks section will hold any remarks put in either by the driver or by the dispatcher. These remarks are kept in their historical remarks for as long as the reservation is active. On the screen there's also a logbook. The logbook is kept by the dispatchers and is only available to your dispatchers or your administrator. They can go in at any point in time and make any notations during the course of the day of any events that could be happening that would be important to the administrator. So this gives you a clear view of what we have. A quick overview of the screen itself. It gives you the times in both Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern times. It is color-coded for light blue for arrivals, white for departures. Pending request would be in a background in solid red. Pending cancellations would be in a yellow color, and any declined request will show up in a dark gray color. The next step is making a reservation. Making a reservation is simple, both for the client and for your dispatchers. It has a formatted display, which requires for you to enter all the necessary information in order to complete the request. If you give your airline client a username and password into your software, they can access your software and directly request the reservation request for transportation for their flight crews. They would enter their airline, pickup date, pickup location, the time, the drop-off location, the airline, their flight number, how many pilots, how many flight attendants, and simply submit. Once the reservation request has been submitted, it will show under the pending request in a bright red background screen. Your dispatchers will see this pop up on his screen, automatically go into the date, check for the information that is being requested, and either confirm or decline the request. If it is confirmed, it will go back into the View Flight screen as a confirmed addition to the regularly scheduled trips. The last action button we're looking at is completed flights. You're able to go back into the system as long as you want to, look at the flight date, look at the flight information. It would list all the information that was gathered by the driver as far as his en route time, his arrival time, his pickup time, and the drop-off time. This information can be sent back to the airline to confirm any questions that they might have about on-time pickups or drop-offs for their flight crew. Now that we've had a quick look at all the action buttons, let's go up and look at the Operations and Administration and Report tabs. They're very similar to the Limousine module. Operations has the same driver availability view, days off, check-in and check-out time, timesheets and dispatch notes, and settings. Under Administration, you'll have the same reporting capabilities. Of course, keep in mind, all these items on these drop-down menu boxes are customizable. You can have as many or as little as your company needs. Reports, again, we can generate any kind of report that you need. Your company simply needs to send us an information sheet as to what information they need to require for us to pull together to generate a report that best suits the needs of your company. Now, the last thing we'll talk about is this bright yellow button that's in the middle of the Flight Crew module. You will see this button displayed on both the Limousine and the Charter Bus module. This will let you toggle between one software and the other one. And you can also see them on a combined view. If we are in the flight view right now, simply by clicking on the module, we'll convert you to the limo view. In the limo view operation, and both in the flight crew operations, you're able to see both flight crews and limousines combined together. If you see here, it says include limo reservations. Within the actual flight crew module screen, you will see, based on date and time, you will have your limousine transportation scattered throughout these times here. That's information. You'll know that you'll have flight crews and your limousine business all combined on one simple screen to watch the operations as the day progresses. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to view the Flight Crew module, along with the Limousine module and the Charter Bus module. DART has provided the first of its kind software platform for 3 businesses on one simple to use software design. The software is customizable to your company's specific needs. Once again, thank you for choosing DART.